everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be talking about The Undoing, Episode 2, The Missing. Who missing? Grace's raggedy husband, Jonathan. I knew he was trash. I knew he was trash from the moment I laid eyes on him. I didn't really know that, y'all. But towards the end of the first episode, I definitely thought that he was trash, and it has definitely been confirmed that he is like the scum beneath my shoe, okay? He is worse than that. Like, I don't even know what level of trash to rate him, but just know that he's raggedy. But we're going to get into it. So we see this episode open. She's still calling these hotels, trying to find her little raggedy husband at this imaginary oncology conference that he is supposed to be at. We see that someone answers the phone. He says that this is Jonathan, but it's not her raggedy Jonathan. And so I thought it was cute that, you know, her son is trying to defend his dad, because no child sees like that their father is raggedy that's actually like helping take care of them. And so I'm just sitting here like, when she went to go ask Henry, like, hey, do you know your father's password? I'm like, ma'am, so your son is going to know the password to his father's phone, but you as his wife don't know the password to your husband's phone? I was just really confused by that line of questioning for her son. But I was like, you know what? Do you, boo? Ask all the questions. You're frazzled. You're not thinking straight, but I'm just confused, like, why you don't know the passcode to your husband's phone. Then someone calls the phone. They don't answer. They don't say anything. So she just hangs up. Henry's still trying to make all these types of excuses. And then she's having these flashbacks because Sylvia and Grace, they're talking about, oh my goodness, do you see what's happening? I just feel so bad. But y'all was just talking smack about this woman in episode 1, 2 days prior. So I'm just confused. I have a lot of confusion that is happening. But, you know, maybe they can, you know, maybe they do feel sorry. I don't know. It is what it is. But she's having all these flashbacks thinking about Lena with her family, her son finding her, all this stuff. She needs to be worried about what her raggedy husband was doing, having flashbacks about what he was doing. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. So we see that it's a circus at the school. The reporters are there. The media is there. Like, everybody trying to figure out what the heck happened to Elena. And we see that the police officers are there. Can I just talk about how fine Edgar Ramirez, like, I hope I said, is his name Edgar Ramirez? The fine detective, I ain't even got to tell y'all which one I'm talking about. The one that's just fine. Like, sir, I wish that I was a part of a murder investigation just so I could come into close contact with you, because you're the type of man that I need, okay? So we see that the moms are gossiping. The one mom talking about how she met him and all this stuff, and then talks about how she confused him for a janitor. I was just like, I don't necessarily know if that's something that I would necessarily want to admit, that I thought that he was a janitor, that you were stereotyping and discriminating against people, but it is what it is. Clearly they just uncouth to me. But we see that she's in this therapy session. I thought it was weird. I don't know if you guys picked up on this. Well, they zoomed in on it, so you had to pick up on it. As the couple was talking, like, his boyfriend had a really tight grip on his arm, so I was just confused. Like, sir, is he hurting you? Are you giving us a cry for help? Do I need to call the popos? Because Grace is not the one to be giving this call to help for, because she got her own mess that she's about to be in. So I don't know what the heck is going to happen, but I was just really concerned for him. I was just like, I feel like something isn't right. It just doesn't sit well with my spirit, what was happening in that grip that he had on his arm. I just didn't know. But we see that she ends up going to her husband's job. She goes to the hospital and she talks to Dr. Stewart, and Dr. Stewart looking shook. And I mean, I would have been shook because she's like 10 feet taller than you, but she's asking, like, had you heard from him? He's at this oncology conference, and it's clear that there's no conference, because he like, what are you talking about? But then he says, hey, like, I can't talk about this. And she looking like, what? Can't talk about what? And she was like, the records are sealed. This is confidential. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. What's confidential? What is really happening here? Because Stewart was really shook, like he saw a ghost, like he wasn't expecting to see Grace show up to the hospital. So like, something is not adding up at this point. But we see that she ends up going to see her dad. He's asking her questions like, was your marriage okay? It's clear that Franklin don't like Jonathan's raggedy behind. But she says, yeah, like, we never been better, all these things. And so we see that the detectives come to talk to her at her daddy's house. They're like, hey, can we talk somewhere more private? And then her dumb behind agrees to go down to the station. Even her daddy like, girl, what is you doing? Think. And then they start having this conversation. And I was like, my new baby daddy, detective daddy, he was looking like he was really serious about some stuff. I was like, he really don't trust her. What is happening? So, honey, I was not ready. So he's talking about, did you know your husband was fired 3 months ago? I said, what? How does someone get up and act like they going to work for 90 days and you don't realize anything is up? What are you doing for all day? What do you do all day? Because it's not like he's just working a 9 to 5. He's like gone all day. Like he made up a whole pager at the fundraiser and left. Act like he had a patient that died. Like there is a level of commitment to this deception that Jonathan has going on. But then Grace sitting up here talking about, I don't want to know. He's like, you want to know? She's sitting up here getting mad like you got confidential records. I said, ma'am, like in the grand scheme of things, does it matter how they were able to obtain it? Or the fact that you didn't know your husband was fired? Y'all, but when he said, do you know who the patient was? The patient was Miguel. He was fired for inappropriate conduct with a family member of a patient. He had inappropriate conduct with Elena. Elena is dead. Jonathan is missing. And Grace is just sitting up here like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Girl, get it together. What? And I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, Grace. I know you don't know, but that's how they told us, like, I'm going to be on your side for a moment. But you sound crazy at this point. So your husband got fired over this girl. Then, like, you didn't know he was fired. You didn't know Miguel was his patient. She's dead. He missing. And you saying that you don't know where he at. They bring up like, well, his phone is at your house. And she was like, yeah, like, you know, he left his phone. And then she getting snippy with them when you didn't ask me where his phone was. You asked where he was. I was like, sis, this ain't the time. But she did get them together. She gathered herself real quick to give them a read. Like, unless you're going to charge me with something, then it's time for me to go. I wanted to be like, yes, but I was just like, no. Because you still didn't know this man was like faking going to work for 3 months. I was just, oh my goodness. Her daddy calling her like, are you okay? No, she's not okay, daddy. She's not. She's not okay. This was a lot of information that he just threw on her. And he was really like, I'm surprised she didn't have a nervous breakdown. By the end of this episode, all the secrets that had come out, I was, honey. So then she goes to her house and she's searching through all this stuff and she finds this scarf and she smells it. And then she remembers that's the scent that Elena had on. And the elevator when she was with her finds this bottle of perfume. She sprayed a perfume. I said, girl, I was like, Grace, what are you doing? These choices, I don't understand what you were doing at this point in time. But yeah, so she isn't going to the school. Everyone's acting weird, looking at her crazy. And the headmaster comes and says, hey, like, you can't be here anymore. Like, we're going to take care and make sure Henry is okay. But baby, until you get you and your family mess sorted out, you cannot come back here. You're not welcome. And then I was like, but how do all these people know? So the detectives just sitting over here snitching? Like, how did they know all this information if Grace just found out this information the night before? Who is pillow talking at this point in time? But then Sylvia, she comes up and, you know, she's cool with her. And then they go to a little restaurant. And then we find out that Sylvia, supposed to be her ace boo coon day one, she knew about the affair. She knew all the mess. Because they said not only did he get fired, he had 3 disciplinary hearings before he even got fired. Okay? 3 hearings and you... Sylvia, I understand that you had like a client attorney privilege, but I was just like, but that was smart on Jonathan's part. You know what I'm gonna do so she don't find out? Let me go ahead and hire her best friend so she can't say nothing. It was smart. He's still raggedy and he's still trash, but it was very smart for him to do that. But I was just like, how you gonna say it's confidential, but then you sitting up here spilling the tea when she asked you to tell her? Haven't make sense for me. And the way that Grace was just okay with this, you to curse her out like nothing. I was just like, wow. So she tells her like, hey, if you find out where your husband is, call and tell the police so they know that you're not on his side, that you're trying to work with them. Because the sooner that you let the media know and the police know that you don't know nothing about what your raggedy husband been doing, it's going to be better off on you. And guess what? By the way, you need to get your raggedy behind up out of here because once the media finds out, it's a wrap. So we see that she ends up going to meet with her dad. And he tells her they go to the beach house. I was like, they so rich. Like, oh, just go to the beach house. Like, okay, whatever. I'm not even going to get on that. Y'all know they rich. They rich, privileged housewives. It is what it is. But I do like that he's telling, like, you keep acting like you can do all this stuff on your own. Like, you need help. You need to get a lawyer. Like, you need to figure this out. This is murder we're talking about. Like, you're just being so calm. I can do all this by myself. I can do bad all by myself. Girl, stop. Stop, okay? This is not the time to be a superwoman, okay? So we see that they end up going to the, she ends up going home because she needs to get some stuff because they're going to stay with her dad until they go to the beach house. And then she gets there and the police has like, they doing a search warrant. They bring her in. He asks her like, where is his phone? She gives him the phone. And then she's like, why are you taking all this stuff? Like, what is going on? This is too much. And then he says, she's like, what do you need a hairbrush for? And I was like, yeah, what do you need a hairbrush for? And he was like, for a plethora of things. But baby, when he said for a paternity test, I said, a paternity test? So you mean to tell me a paternity test? So, I said, sir, how many more Bible shows you going to throw at her in this episode? Because you just don't care about her well-being, her peace of mind. A paternity test. I'm still sitting here like, so that little baby is his? What? Oh my God, a paternity test. I mean, just when you thought you didn't hurt it all. So they go to the beach house. I really want Henry to stop being a creep, stop sneaking up on his mama, because he gave her like several heart attacks in this episode. So he scared her. He's all like, I don't want to be here. Where's my dad? Typical privileged like little teenager. And then we see that she has her, they always have to have this moment where reality sets in and she's like tearing up all the stuff. And it's as if she didn't just tell Henry like a whole 5 seconds ago, stop sneaking up on me. And what does he do as she's crying to herself? He sneaks up on her. And then we see that they're eating. And I know y'all saw somebody up above. I was like, hold up, who that? Who that? I said, I bet that's her raggedy husband hiding up at this beach house. So we see that she's asleep and she hears this noise. She's going to check it and then she don't find nobody. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just bugging. Maybe I'm just tripping. But then she's sitting on a porch and then somebody run up on her and it's her husband grabbing her mouth talking about, I didn't kill her, and then kissing her. Don't kiss her. Don't kiss her. I was ready. I was like, kiss her again and see what happened. And he's sitting up and talking about, I didn't kill her. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna move my mouth. You not gonna scream. How you gonna tell me what I'm gonna do? What? I just need a moment because I was just okay. So he's sitting up here talking about we were romantically involved. I didn't kill her. We had an argument at the little fundraiser and stuff. We got into it. And, she was becoming obsessed with you. She was possessed. We slept together. We had an affair. But then she, I thought if I could help her get her son into school. I was like, so you the one who helped Miguel get a scholarship. So you helping them get a scholarship. Then why you can't get that 50 G's scholarship for my son, for Henry? I don't understand. So then he talking about, baby, he said he had sex with her that night, right? They got into an argument. That's when she left. He faked the little pager thing. And then he met up with her trying to break things out, trying to tell her to leave. I was scared for my family. I was scared for you. She was obsessed with you. And then talking about, we had sex. We had sex. You had sex. And then you got back in your wife's bed and you had sex with your dirty little peen. You didn't look like you washed nothing off. So you didn't went and had sex with her and you didn't came back and put your little dirty peen in your wife? What? Talking about I had sex with her and then when I went to get a drink to get myself together, I went back, she was there. I said, you know what, baby, call the police right now. If not, I'm gonna call the police for you right now. And then the son come up, he going to hug his daddy like, my son needs to know that his dad is not a killer. Sir, but you are trash. You are a dog. Oh my goodness. So when he hugging his son, she calling the police, talking about, I'm scared for my life. Baby, I would have been like, sir, I'm calling to let you guys know that there has been a murder, okay? Because I'm about to get up in his ass, okay? I was just like, wow. I was just like, the bombshells kept coming this entire episode. And I was just like, This episode was like, I enjoyed this 10 times more than the first episode, pacing wise, because there's just so much that's being revealed. Like, it was just bombshell, 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 bombshell. Like, oh, you think we're done with the bombshells? Let me give you another bombshell before we go into the credits. I was just like, whew, there's so much, baby. But you know what? I feel like a certain part of me in my heart of hearts feels like he wasn't the one that killed her. Is he trash? Yes. But did he kill her? I don't think so. Now, I don't know if it was the husband. You know, Sylvia said it's always the husband, but the husband got an alibi. So, you know, Jonathan is the number one suspect. So, I don't know what is going to happen. But I was just, baby, I'm at a loss for words at this point in time. But I really did enjoy this week's episode. I had a heart attack, panic attack. I was ready to fight. I was ready to take my earrings off, put my Vaseline on. Jonathan is trash. Trash, 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 trash. And he's raggedy. And Grace needs to get it together because this, I don't know what the heck is going to happen, but I'm totally here for it. But those are my thoughts on The Undoing, episode 2, The Missing. As always, my name is Sharonda from Pair Waits. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.